And it's a big news break here on Times Now. We tell you how this entire controversy surrounding the hijab actually started out. Now, as far as the Campus Front of India is concerned, now this is an allegation that has been made in the past that this entire protest was prompted by the CFI and, of course, a section of the students. Now, for starters, take a look at this video from October last year. It was then that a protest was organized by the ABVP against a case of sexual assault. Pictures from this protest show the Muslim students from Udupi Government College participating in the rally. Times Now has learned that it is after this that the Campus Front came into the picture and counseled the girl students to assert on hijab inside classes. In fact, the principal of Udupi College has confirmed to Times Now that a meeting with parents to resolve the issue was reaching a consensus until involvement of Campus Front of India and other organizations, in fact, actually came in. We have Padmaja joining us live, but I want to first go across to Deepak on this entire episode. Deepak, what really have we learned and what is the story that these pictures tell in terms of students where in earlier years did not have this hijab, but in recent times this has been a concerted effort by the Campus Front of India, and they have also not denied that they actually helped these girls who were protesting.
Yes, now the Campus Front, of course, has been telling them that they've been backing up the girls. So after, they began to, face problems in the college while wearing a hijab. Now, some of the details that we've got is, goes back into last year, 2021, and the 3 months before that. Now, the college, of course, has been saying it's from the end of December that the girls actually began stepping up their agitation. Now, this particular, ABVP protest that some of these girls took part in, probably, holds a key into how this entire issue began. Now, we should also understand that after this, what we've been told from our sources is that after they took part in the ABVP protest, there were, Campus Front activists who didn't like the fact that these were Muslim girls taking part in an ABVP protest, and they, approached them and said that, we have an organization of our own which you could be a part of, and, there came, a difference between the ABVP and the CFI. At that point in time, the girls, wearing a hijab was objected to by ABVP, after which, the college administration, of course, found it extremely difficult to handle, the situation with these girls coming to campuses wearing a hijab. During this time, the parents were called in by, the college administration. A lot of, around 12 girls at that point in time were said to be wanting to wear a hijab. After, a lot of meetings that the college held with these parents, most of the girls agreed, and it was reduced to about 4 girls who actually wanted to wear the hijab. Then it is said that the following day, somewhere in about December, in the first week of December, that there were other people who came in saying that they were relatives of these girls, and also finally it was Campus Front activists also who approached the principal and said that the girls should be allowed to wear a hijab. So, there the question really comes in whether these girls were actually pushed while the parents and the other students were convinced that it was a girls' PU college and there was no real need to wear a hijab, whether it was the Campus Front activists who kept pushing these girls, and did they really gain anything out of it politically? These are questions that definitely come up.
Okay, what's the role of Campus Front? That's a question that certainly comes to mind from what you've just described for us, Deepak. Let me get in a quick word from Padmaja on this as well. Padmaja, these pictures tell a story for themselves, and the obvious question is what transpired over the past few years? What changed? Is it only the role of the Campus Front of India?
Well, in fact, I want to focus squarely on the pictures that have been sent by Deepak. And if you focus here, now these pictures are important for 2 reasons, Madhav. One, that it has been claimed throughout that on campus, girls were not being allowed to wear hijab. Remember, the college said on campus you can wear it, please take it off inside the classroom. Now, this picture, which is of a ABVP protest that was held incidentally to protest against a case of sexual harassment, very clearly shows that at least half a dozen Muslim girls in their hijab are right there at the forefront. Leading the protest are these girls from that college in Udupi. Subsequently, like Deepak has said, after this protest, the Campus Front got mobilized, they got into the action and then started interfering, apparently counseling the girls against associating with the ABVP. But look at the situation where in October the actual protest was against a case of sexual harassment and girls were freely participating irrespective of religion. The difference only was that inside the classroom, they were not allowed to wear the hijab. They were supposed to stick to the uniform. And look at where things have gone from then, in October, where you see all of these children shoulder to shoulder protesting against a crime against a woman, to now when they are fighting over religious identities. Back to you.
Right, thanks so much for that update there, Padmaja, as well as Deepak. In fact, we'll keep coming back to you for more updates on the story. But I want to go across to our guests who are joining us. With us is Malvika Avinash of the BJP. We also have with us Rahul Ishwar, activist. But I want to first go across to Saida Falak, member of AIMM. Or I'm told we have Yasmin Farooqi with us, member of AIMPLB. Yasmin Farooqi, ये पिक्चर्स अगर हम देखें तो इन पिक्चर्स में देखा जाए कि पहले प्रोटेस्ट के दौरान स्टूडेंट्स ने किसी भी तरह का हिजाब नहीं पहना है और कहा यह जा रहा है कि कहीं ना कहीं कैंपस फ्रंट ऑफ इंडिया का रोल है, एटलीस्ट बीजेपी का भी यही कहना है। और इन पिक्चरों में साफ ये दिखाया जा रहा है कि किस तरह पूर्व में जब भी इस तरह के प्रोटेस्ट हुए थे गर्ल्स कॉलेज में, तब इन्होंने हिजाब नहीं पहना। ये बस कुछ महीने पहले इसकी शुरुआत हुई है। क्या कहेंगे आप?
देखिए, हिजाब नहीं पहना है, उससे ये साबित हुआ ना कि उनको हिजाब पे प्रॉब्लम नहीं है कि पहनना है या नहीं पहनना है। अगर कोई लड़की हिजाब पहन के 1 साल से जा रही थी और अगर उसे रोका गया है, तो इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि हिजाब उनकी पर्सनल चॉइस है। आप जो नहीं पहन रही मत पहनाइए, जो पहनना चाहती है उसे पहनने दीजिए। तो उसका वही रीजन हुआ ना कि आप इसको ऊपर थोपिए मत। जो लड़की पहन के जा रही थी उसे रोका गया ना। ये थोड़ी हुआ कि वो लड़की पहन के नहीं जा रही थी और अचानक वो पहन के आ गई।
सवाल ये उठा रही है बीजेपी। All right, I'm going to let the BJP spokesperson come in on this. Malvika Avinash, you have Yasmin Farooqi who says that this means that, you know, people are being forced. Why should they be forced if they are doing this or wearing the hijab of their own volition? That is the way she views these pictures. How would you like to respond to her, Malvika Avinash?
First and foremost, I congratulate you on bringing forth a lot of the truth that perhaps a lot of the world does not know and has presumed, including Madam who just spoke before me, has presumed that there is some kind of a ban on hijab in Karnataka and that the Karnataka government, the BJP government in Karnataka is, communalizing the atmosphere and discriminating and so on and so forth. All that is lies, madam. All that is lies that are being spread by vested interests like the Campus Front of India. Here in these images, you see girls wearing hijab, which means it was allowed on campus. The ban on hijab in that particular college is only in the classroom, which also, however, does not mean that there is a ban on hijab across Karnataka in colleges. These very girls can go to classes in colleges which permit them. So there is no blanket rule like that. So I think it's important that facts are made known, and I'm glad that you are serving the purpose by making facts known. I see her shaking her head. I think she still hasn't understood the issue. This college in particular took into consideration the opinions of all the stakeholders, which is parents, which is the college management, which is the officials, which is the government, everyone, and evolved that a uniform will be prescribed, which will not permit scarves inside classroom.
Okay. Let me bring in Rahul Ishwar on this, because Rahul, now we have an important aspect. Rahul Ishwar, is that the courts have taken cognizance of what has transpired. Perhaps we don't know if this is also going to be submitted by any of the petitioners or going to be looked into. But the question that arises is that, you know, the issue has now acquired different proportions. The court is saying now we don't want any religious symbols from any student simply because they do not want to disturb the peace and tranquility. And it's quite unfortunate that our educational institutions have become centers where law and order is now a matter of concern.
Absolutely, Madhavji. Nobody can debate that. Two humble points. One, let us all be guided by Justice Fatima Bibi, one of the first women judges of Indian Supreme Court, a great spiritual, pious Muslim lady who always used to cover her head whenever she went for private functions. But when she came to court, she upheld the dress code. because the code is having a certain dress code and she never any other religious dress associated with it. Let us listen to what Father of the Nation Mahatma Gandhi himself said in May 1947 when he said we should discourage such practices and parda should be inside our mind. And Mahatma Gandhi went so far as to point out that Holy Quran doesn't prescribe such dress code and only modesty is invoked in the Holy Quran and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But right now, as you rightly said, some harshline organization, extremist organization has been using this to instigate our young sisters, to instigate people to come out and protest for them. These harshline organizations are trying to gain foothold in especially southern
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you there, Rahul, because I'm told Union Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Anurag Thakur, is speaking. Let's cut across live to that.
30,000 से ज्यादा पंचायतों में, ग्रामीण क्षेत्र की बात कर रहा हूं, 30,000 से ज्यादा पंचायतों में नल से जल देने का हमने काम पूर्ण कर लिया। हिंदुस्तान के इतिहास में 70 साल में 9 करोड़ लोगों के घर पे नल से जल गया, उसमें से 5 करोड़ हमने दिए पिछले 2 सालों में, और इस साल हम लोग 4 करोड़ परिवारों को पूरे देश भर में नल से जल घर तक पहुंचाने जा रहे हैं। ये बातें मैं आपके सामने इसलिए रख रहा हूं कि डबल इंजन की सरकार ने देश और प्रदेश में कैसे बदलाव लाया है। पश्चिम से पूर्वांचल की बात करूं, कैराना से काशी की बात करूं, चहुमुखी विकास सब तरफ दिखता है। और मैं तो ये कहूंगा, गाजीपुर से गाजियाबाद भी देखेंगे तो एक तरफ एक समान विकास किया है। समाज के अलग अलग वर्गों में देखेंगे, किसी के साथ कोई भेदभाव नहीं किया। 1,86,00,000 बहनों को रसोई गैस के सिलेंडर उज्ज्वला योजना में मिले। न हिंदू देखा ना मुसलमान, न अगड़ा देखा ना पिछड़ा, न गरीब देखा ना अमीर, जिसको मिलना था उसको मिला है। 43 लाख पक्के मकान बनाए, किसी की जाति धर्म नहीं देखा है और आगे भी नहीं देखेंगे।